Are you struggling with feeling stuck in your life journey? Does it seem as if the challenges or conflicts that you keep experiencing are on repeat? Healing through feeling could be your new way through to a more satisfying life. Now, here is the host of the Feel to Heal with Sharyn Nichols show, licensed marriage and family therapist and life guide, Sharyn Nichols.
Welcome. And thank you so much for tuning in to the Feel to Heal show with myself, Sharyn Nichols. And this has been a very interesting week. Today's topic is compassion. And I chose this topic because I really truly wanted to explore for myself what it meant and or what it means to be human, like the human conditioning, because it's all about suffering. At least to me, in my mind, the human condition is about suffering. And so compassion, one of the definitions, compassion involves feeling another person's pain and wanting to take steps to help relieve their suffering. So the word compassion itself derives from Latin and means to suffer together. So isn't that what we're doing? We're all suffering together as a collective. So that's why I chose this topic. And I'm going to start with a meditation like I usually do to sort of center me and ground me. And because I want to relieve my own suffering over all of this, over my own life, over my own selfness, not selfishness or narcissisticness, just my own selfish. Like I just want to be over me. And so being with this topic, it's truly really worked me in such a positive way. And of course, always, the whole full spectrum. So thank you so much for tuning in. I know I already said that. I'm Sharyn Nichols. I'm a licensed marriage family therapist, and I just love working with people. I love working with people who are trying to figure it out and need help with someone just holding up the mirror because they really want to get it and really want to have a better understanding of who you are and how you work. And then therefore you can then communicate better. Because if you understand your own inner workings, so much of your life will make so much more sense for you, just in general. So let's start with the meditation, the compassionate meditation. Let's all receive a breath, me included. I so look forward to starting with the meditation because it just grounds me and brings me present. Even though I sat in meditation this morning and even did a walking meditation, I need this moment to once again help present me because that's what it always is. It's always about being in the present moment. So it doesn't even matter what I did 2 hours ago. And it doesn't even matter what I'm going to be doing 2 hours from now. The only thing that matters is the here and now. So let's start with a meditation on compassion or a compassionate meditation, however you want to put the two together. So start by settling into a comfortable position, either seated or lying down. And taking a brief moment and just checking in with yourself, noticing any areas of your body that are tense or you have a sense of holding. Where's the constriction? Just soften and allow and adjust. And then bringing awareness throughout your entire body and breathing in. And allowing the awareness to awaken a sense of radiance of this moment, of the here and now. Breathing in and breathing out, relaxing, releasing into your space. And for the next few moments, playing with that balance of being relaxed and awake. And from time to time, if you need to, integrate counting throughout this moment, throughout this presence, to keep you centered, to keep you in the here and now. Just beginning with the awareness of your body and your breathing and a sense of balanced awareness. Now warming up the attitude of attention, bringing in a sense of compassionate attitude. And if you'd like, playing with placing your hands on your heart, on your abdomen, or any other part of your body as you continue to just breathe. Feeling the gentle touch, the warmth of your hands, the sensation of connection. Bringing the tender awareness, the tender connection between your breath and your body. And just breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Feeling into the compassion of your breath. Your breath literally nourishes your body and your mind, bringing in oxygen to sustain your life, breathing in compassionate breath, breathing out, exhaling out, softening, relaxing into this moment. You may also consider what you're needing in life in general. Love, strength, calm, ease, acceptance, peace, compassion. Breathing in whatever it is that you are needing at this moment. This moment. Breathing in, breathing out. Settling into a soothing, natural rhythm that is your breath. That's been with you since the moment you took your first breath. Back to the oneness, to the wholeness that you are and that you were the moment you took your first breath. Taking this moment to acknowledge yourself for creating this space at this time, holding and having the intention of doing this or participating in this meditation for your own health and well-being. This is an act of self-love, of self-compassion. So just acknowledging yourself in whatever way that feels right for you, for taking this time, for allowing. Allow your awareness to rest in your body as a whole, sensing into the body as it is, being just as you are, honoring who you are, remembering who you are. Receiving a breath. And exhaling. And when you are ready, allowing your eyes to open and coming back to the surroundings, to the space, the literal physical space you are in. Holding this openness, this breath, this natural rhythm that you are, the very embodiment of compassion. Compassion is essentially the wish that beings not suffer from the subtle physical and emotional discomfort to the deep agony and anguish, combined with feelings of empathy and sympathy. So Merriam-Webster definition of compassion is sympathetic consciousness of others' distress together with a desire to alleviate it. So the biggest thing that I've gotten with being with compassion is that we all have it, we all need it, and it's something that we need to do together for ourselves and each other, like specifically. I know everything else, like, yes, isn't it wonderful? Yes, you need to love yourself so you can love another. And yes, happiness brings more happiness, and let's just keep bringing on and elevating our higher good and the higher frequencies of energy. And yes, that's all wonderful. Although compassion is something we need to do together. And it took me a while to get that. I've been with compassion and been thinking about it, and because with compassion is sympathy and empathy, and there's even some altruism in there. And it's important that we have the desire for ourselves to help. That's why, of course, it always starts with yourself, the self-compassion, and then moving out to others. Although it does start with others first. I found it's easier to start with others first to then pull it back to you. And so we're going to take a short break. And when we come back, we're going to talk more about this whole thing of compassion and self-compassion and how you can do it and what to do it and all that wonderful good stuff. See you back in a moment. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Feel to Heal show with myself, Sharyn Nichols, on the Inspired Choices Network. See you back in a moment.
At different times on our life journey, we can feel stuck and struggle with seeing our way through. What if the answer to the struggle is just to go deeper than the surface? By tuning in to Feel to Heal with Sharyn Nichols show with licensed marriage and family therapist and life guide Sharyn Nichols, you'll receive insight and guidance on exploring your feelings in order to heal yourself. Are you ready to create a more satisfying, peaceful, and successful life? Listen for the Feel to Heal with Sharyn Nichols show every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Mountain, and 3 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email becomeahost@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is Feel to Heal with Sharyn Nichols show with licensed marriage and family therapist and life guide Sharyn Nichols. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also ask questions or comments by email by sending to Sharyn Nichols at feeltoheal.com. Now, back to the program.
Welcome back. I'm just inhaling and exhaling. And for those who do not see me, thank you so much for tuning in to the Feel to Heal show with myself, Sharyn Nichols. And today's topic is compassion. And for those of you who don't see me, I typically dance during the commercial break, and I'll fix my hair, I'll take some water. And so I'm actually just being human. And what compassion does by itself is it allows our heart to open, and we nourish people we care about. So because those people, you who receive our compassion, you're then more likely to be patient, forgiving, and then compassionate with me. So if I'm being compassionate with you and you're feeling it and you're getting it, you're then more likely to be compassionate with me. Again, like I said before the break, it's important that we do this together. Compassion is a two-way street in a good way. So compassion also reflects the wisdom that everything is related to everything else. We're all in this together, and that it naturally draws one into feeling more connected with all things. So this week, I have felt connected to everyone and everything, both the good, the bad, and the ugly. And it has been an incredible week. I've laughed more, I've cried more, I've gotten frustrated more, and then just let it all go. Because I've just been allowing for each person to have their own suffering, whatever that is. Most victims suffer. We're all victims of something, of someone, of some situation, of just all of it. We're victims of our childhood. We're victims of the traffic. We're victims of someone being late for us. Compassion. Because compassion can then also lead to understanding. Compassion is so natural if you think about it. If you can let go of your feelings of taking things personally, or your feelings of being a victim in the moment, it's not that difficult. You just open to the fact that there is going to be difficulty, that there is going to be struggle, that there is going to be stress, that there is sorrow, and that there is pain, and that We are human. So if you open your heart and let yourself be moved by someone else's pain, sorrow, suffering, stress, victimization, you can then let compassion flow from you. Because compassion then is not about you. Compassion is about the other. And so if you have compassion, someone can then have compassion for you. Whenever I was thinking, I would be, in my head or being with someone else's suffering and sorrow and pain and all of that. And as soon as I took a moment or just took a breath and realized, wait a second, whoa, this is not about me. This is truly about them and where they are. And so I just allow that being, and just breathing. It was so much easier for me to have compassion for someone else and have me have compassion with someone else. And I apologize. I got thrown a little off. Signs of compassion. Some signs that you have compassion for others include feeling like you have a great deal in common with someone, even if you are so very different, because we are all very different. We all have had a lot of different experiences, although they've been based in similar themes. So that's also what I truly believe is important with compassion, is someone might not have had the same experience as you, although they've had similar feelings as you. So you can just meet and understand on that level. So being able to understand what somebody is going through, because you can understand pain. You may not understand where it's coming from, or you may think that it's not relevant, although it's their pain, it's their suffering. And so by allowing them their pain and their suffering, and you coming from just a place of compassion, that whatever their pain and suffering is theirs, and you don't have to take it on. You just have to acknowledge that it's their pain and suffering. That's the compassion. The compassion is acknowledging that they have their own pain and suffering. So part of compassion is the want, the belief, and even the desire to do something. So you can absolutely do something. And it's always about being present. And even doing nothing is doing something if you acknowledge that that's what it is. So just holding space may look as though you're doing nothing, although that, of course, is doing something. And I used to put some meaning to me doing nothing for someone, even though I know they're suffering, although me just holding them in the space that they're in without any words. See, this is also where we get caught up and we get all tripped up, where we feel as though we need to say the right thing or even do the right thing. And sometimes doing the right thing is saying nothing. It's just acknowledging that someone is feeling. Someone is suffering. Someone is feeling pain. That's compassion. It's just acknowledging it. It's not about taking it away. I know as a parent, for sure, I never ever wanted my children to feel any pain or feel any suffering, although it's part of the human condition. It's an impossibility to think that that we will go through this life without any pain or suffering. It's impossible because you can't have one without the other. It's the full spectrum. It's what I've been talking about. It's just what I've been saying for so long in terms of who we are as human beings. You have to have the light with the dark. So you have to have the empathy and the sympathy along with the pain and the suffering and the struggle. That's why I say, give up the struggle. Give it up. You don't need to struggle. You just need to acknowledge in the moment that you are struggling, and then you can let it go and give it up, which then allows the opening for creation, for love, for peace, for all the wonderful goodness that we all want in our lives. Although yet we feel as though, maybe I shouldn't even say we, because now I'm making assumptions. I know for myself that if I allow myself to feel the pain and the suffering of all that there is, I can then be open to transmuting that for all. And so, yes, it starts with one. So it starts with you. And we're all in this together because it is truly about oneness. And so compassion, like I said, is a two-way street. We have to have compassion for each other. And there is no hierarchy of victimhood. We're all victims of ourselves. We're all victims of our environment. We're all victims of our childhood. Yes, some of us may have had it worse than others, but really, it doesn't fucking matter. What your pain and suffering is, it's your pain and suffering. And who am I to say that yours is worse than mine? And who are you to say that yours is worse than mine? Because mine is relative to me, just like yours is relative to you. And that's what compassion is. I'm getting passionate about compassion. Because compassion and empathy share common elements, but compassion goes a step beyond. Rather than just imagining yourself in someone else's shoes, compassion pushes you to take action now to help that person. And helping can also be doing nothing. You being in the silence, you not continuing to activate the victimization, will give then someone the space with which to perhaps look at things differently, hold up the mirror, always acknowledge where they are, and give them the space to move through what they need to move through for themselves. And there is then, I'm hoping that there's the allowing for the opening to bring in more, or to just be in the space of love and peace and satisfaction and success and all the wonderful things that go with it. Being in the flow of life. So we're going to take another break. And when we come back, we're going to talk more about compassion and some things that we can do for ourselves, and talk a little bit more about self-compassion. So I look forward to seeing you back from break. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Feel to Heal show with myself, Sharyn Nichols, on the Inspired Choices Network. See you back in a moment.
At different times on our life journey, we can feel stuck and struggle with seeing our way through. What if the answer to the struggle is just to go deeper than the surface? By tuning in to Feel to Heal with Sharyn Nichols show, with licensed marriage and family therapist and life guide Sharyn Nichols, you'll receive insight and guidance on exploring your feelings in order to heal yourself. Are you ready to create a more satisfying, peaceful, and successful life? Listen for the Feel to Heal with Sharyn Nichols show every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Mountain, and 3 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is Feel to Heal with Sharyn Nichols Show with licensed marriage and family therapist and life guide Sharyn Nichols. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also ask questions or comments by email by sending to Sharyn Nichols at feeltoheal.com. Now, back to the program.
Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Feel to Heal show with myself, Sharyn Nichols, on the Inspired Choices Network. And please reach out to me, and you can find me on my website at feeltoheal.com. Sorry, I'm combining all the thoughts are just coming at me all at once. So please find me on my website, feeltoheal.com, or email me at SharynNichols@feeltoheal.com. There's a theme here: feeling to healing. You must feel your feelings in order to heal. That's what I've been saying all along. This is totally my biggest, hugest belief system. And there's always change. Each moment there's change. So you may be feeling one way right now, and that will shift. That will move. It has to, because nothing stays the same. Nothing, ever. Because in every moment, you're getting older. So therefore, I'm 1 minute older than I just was. So therefore, it's different. It's new. There's change. So let's talk about self-compassion, kindness towards oneself. A definition that I found: self-compassion is extending compassion to one's self in instances of perceived inadequacy, failure, or general suffering. Wow. That's incredible. Isn't that what we do all the time? Don't we perceive inadequacy and failure or suffering all the time? Isn't that the place where most of us hang out? I know for sure that's where I used to hang out. I'm tired of it, though. I'm tired. I wanted to be kindness and humility and just a greater understanding that we are all the same. You know, does not matter what color your skin is. We all have the same color blood. We all bleed red. Doesn't matter. We are all human. We are. I'm just going to take a breath on that because we forget it. What humans do to humans has always just boggled my mind. So self-compassion, according to Dr. Julie Smith, is a core skill. It's a skill for maintaining good mental health. So what is self-compassion? So think about it for a moment. What makes a really great friend? Some of your answers might often include things like kindness, support, encouragement, honesty, acceptance, and someone who is there for you unconditionally. So self-compassion is all of those things above. So all those things that I just said. Sorry, I'm reading. And self-compassion is all the things that you would give to someone else. It's about giving to yourself. And I know we understand the whole self thing. So it involves behaving and speaking to yourself as if you would to your best friend. There have been times where I have had friends look at me and say, "Stop being mean to my friend Sharyn." And I used to laugh and chuckle. Because of course, in that moment, I was being so self-deprecating and so mean. And so a foundation of a great friendship is trusting that the other person has your own best interest at heart. So it's about being a best friend to yourself. Coming from the place of that you only have your best interest at heart for you. So giving up the harsh criticism for yourself, for the supportive encouragement and unconditional acceptance, because you can have unconditional acceptance for yourself if you choose it. Most moments, because I'm still human, I do have unconditional acceptance for myself and all the good and the bad and the ugly. I do have some really mean, horrible thoughts about myself and even about others, except they're just thoughts and I don't need to act on them. And they're also just feelings. And I just allow myself to feel what I need to feel. I don't push it away. I allowed myself to have those horrible, mean, ugly thoughts. And then I'll do what I need to do. I will transmute them. I will send them out into the universe. I'll watch them blow up because they're just thoughts and they're just feelings. And they don't have to define me all the time. See, we put these labels on ourselves, which I know I talked about last show. And we don't need them because they're momentary. So yes, in the moment, I'm being really mean and cruel to myself. And the thoughts that I'm having towards someone else are mean and cruel, although they don't have to define me for my entire being, for the rest of the minute, for the rest of the hour, for the rest of the day, for the rest of my life. They're just moments and they change constantly, except we hang some sort of meaning to all of the moments or just to the bad ones, because if it keeps us in our pain and suffering, then we can join with others, because that's where we meet. We meet in the pain and the suffering. And what if we met in the pain and the suffering and then let it go? And then we could meet in the creation and the creativity of the love, of the peace, of the satisfaction of all that there actually is. What if we started hanging our hat, our proverbial hat, on peace and love and creation and understanding and compassion? Because compassion is a two-way street. So if we all understand that we all have pain and suffering, and if we all can let go of the degree with which we think we need to either A, still continue to suffer, or B, someone has suffered more or less than us. So therefore, then there is that hierarchy, even though I said there's no hierarchy, because there is no hierarchy. However, where we put ourselves, again, still keeping us in that lower based energy of being a victim. Compassion. for yourself and for others, because this could be the equalization of the playing field. If we can all just meet in a place of compassion for ourselves and for each other. It's not even meeting in a place of love. No, I get that. No, it's meeting in a place of compassion. Because we all need compassion for ourselves and for each other in order to be. Just breathing. So do you actually think you could be your own best friend? Do you think you could let go of beating yourself up, being mean to yourself, and just being in the allowing? Letting go of the harsh self-criticism. Can you just be kinder and nicer and gentler to yourself? Because if you are kinder and nicer and gentler with yourself, chances are you'll be kinder and nicer and gentler to those around you. So having so many thoughts going through my head. That's why there's been some silence, because it is so simple, and yet we make it so complex. We think that things need to be so hard won. Otherwise, would we have any existence? Would we actually even be here? I mean, we create most of our suffering because we allow ourselves to suffer. You know, I've been in this conversation and people often look at me like I have two heads, because we always have a choice. Always have a choice. Even in our suffering. We have a choice to let go of being a victim of our childhood. We always have a choice of letting go of our trauma. Although we meet in trauma, we meet there. And so I totally, 100% completely understand why it would be difficult to let that go. Because how else are we going to connect? If we don't connect as victims, how else are we going to connect? Although there's been a big, huge movement, you know, there's so many different things that you can do to let go of your trauma, to release being a victim. You know, there's help everywhere. And it always requires a different choice, and then therefore some change. You will have to do things differently. You will have to start looking at life through a different lens. So I'm just going to keep breathing, because this has actually really been anchoring for me and really grounding and opening. And so I'm feeling very, very full. So we're going to take another short break. And when we come back, we're going to talk more about compassion. And I'm going to give you some things and some tips and some exercises and some things that you can do for yourself. So thank you so much for tuning in to the Feel to Heal show. We'll be right back.
At different times on our life journey, we can feel stuck and struggle with seeing our way through. What if the answer to the struggle is just to go deeper than the surface? By tuning in to Feel to Heal with Sharyn Nichols show, with licensed marriage and family therapist and life guide Sharyn Nichols, you'll receive insight and guidance on exploring your feelings in order to heal yourself. Are you ready to create a more satisfying, peaceful, and successful life? Listen for the Feel to Heal with Sharyn Nichols show every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Mountain, and 3 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. This is Feel to Heal with Sharyn Nichols show with licensed marriage and family therapist and life guide Sharyn Nichols. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also ask questions or comments by email by sending to Sharyn Nichols at feeltoheal.com. Now, back to the program.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for tuning into the Feel to Heal show with myself, Sharyn Nichols, on the incredible Inspired Choices Network. And you can find me, feeltoheal.com. Please email me with any questions or comments. Sharyn Nichols at feeltoheal.com. Today's topic is compassion, and I am very compassionate about compassion, or I should say I'm very passionate about compassion. So there are a number of different things that you can do to show compassion to others. So it goes both ways. It's how you can show compassion to others, and then also how you can show compassion to yourself. So let's start with speaking with kindness. Always speaking with kindness to yourself. Please always have me in the back of your head saying, please be nice, or please stop being mean to my friend. Fill in the blank, your name. And here's the biggest thing. Apologize when you've made a mistake. Take responsibility if you have caused hurt feelings or a miscommunication that then led to assumptions or someone taking something personally, or if someone feels as though you were being mean to them. Whether you were or weren't is irrelevant to you. To them, you were. Might as well just apologize and have compassion. Because somewhere along the way, I have a funny feeling that the table had been turned, and that someone had somewhere along the way has hurt your feelings or said something mean, or you made an assumption and you took it down a million different places. So if you just bring it back. And then also listen. Listen carefully to what someone is saying without judgment. Listen, active listening is about listening to what the person is actually saying. And now here's about being in the present moment. That's being present. Knowing, just holding the space for yourself, that as long as you stay present, the words will come out exactly as they need to, rather than thinking about what you need to say next, holding that thought, because that's just never going to work. Being present. I think I'm making sense. So it's about hearing what somebody has to say and not holding it in your, not going over it in your head. Oh, I'm going to say this next. I'm going to say this next. I'm going to say this next. Because if you keep saying it over and over again in your head, you're not actually hearing what they say. So encouragement. We all want it. We all like it. And so don't assign or don't put anything on it. Just be encouraging of others. So other people can encourage you. Again, the two-way street of compassion. Offer to help someone without any expectation in return. Just help. Not with the martyrdom attached. Just give from your heart. It's incredible. You know how that feels. I know you do. I know you've at least done it once. Given from your heart without expecting anything in return. Here's the other thing, or another thing. Be happy for someone else's success. Don't think about all the things that you're not doing. Just come up underneath them and be excited for them, because success breeds success. Accept people for who they are, the way that they are. I can't stress that enough. That is the key to all relationships. That is it. You must accept yourself for who you are, the way that you are, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and then accept someone else for the way that they are, for how they're showing up, the good, the bad, and the ugly, because they are just like you. We are all reflections of each other. We are all one. Yes, I know. I'm laughing. I'm laughing at myself, truly, because I want you to get this. I want you to get that you are just a reflection of me. And if you are listening to me speaking about compassion right now, know that you are compassionate. I am accepting you for who you are, the way that you are right now, because you are accepting me the way that I am right now. For the things I'm saying, for the things that I'm not saying, I'm showing you respect. And if you're listening to the rest of the show, you're showing me respect. And always needs to be said, expressing gratitude and appreciation for you. I have such gratitude and such appreciation for you listening to my show, listening or watching, participating, supporting me in the unseen, even in not reaching out, just knowing, because I do know you are listening. Because I truly do believe that I'm not just speaking into the void. So it's truly about being patient. Please be patient with yourself. I'm having such patience with myself. And since 50% of us have to ride our emotional wave, it's about patience. It's about patience until you can get to that place of clarity to make all the decisions. So the problem is that we get so frustrated in the moment because things are not happening as quickly as we need them to be. So just be patient and allow yourself to just be fucking human. Please, I beg of you, have compassion for yourself. Have compassion for me. Have compassion for your best friend. Make you your best friend. So have compassion for you. Please, let's just all be in this together. Finally, let's acknowledge that we are. And you can always be compassionate. Always bringing your attention to where you are and what you are experiencing, and imagine what others are experiencing. Be one. Thank you so much for tuning in. Next week's show, we're going to talk about gaslighting and the difference between gaslighting and manipulation, and what does it actually mean? Because this is a term that keeps being bandied about, and I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it being used as an excuse. So I look forward to seeing you all next week. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Feel to Heal show with myself, Sharyn Nichols. Yay! See you back next week. Woo-hoo!
Thank you for choosing to listen to the Feel to Heal with Sharyn Nichols show. Sharyn Nichols will return next Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Mountain, and 3 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. We hope you'll join us. Until then, give up the struggle, feel all you need to feel, and make this week your best one yet.